Persona 5 Royal comes out today! And maybe you'll get your copy if you ordered it online. While there is a chance that I may not, that's not going to kill the hype that I, and I know most of you watching, have for this game. Hell, even ESPN is covering this game. That is a side effect of this pandemic that I did not expect. While Persona fans are preparing to live out their missing high school experience through a dreamy anime teenager, there have been some people saying that this is a scam and that Persona 5 Royal doesn't warrant full retail price. Well, I think this game is worth every penny, and I will give you 60 reasons why this game warrants full retail price. Why 60 reasons exactly? I think $1 per reason is a fair way to evaluate these changes. With all that out of the way, people, I will now present 60 mostly spoiler-free reasons why I am excited for Persona 5 Royal. The first reason to buy this game is naturally the biggest, as we get a brand new party member in
Yoshizawa!
They haven't talked about her a lot, but a new party member gives way more options and variety, which is always appreciated. I mean, even if she ends up having very little character, people will still like her given the fact that Haru fans exist. Continuing with characters, there's the other confidant added to Royal, Maruki. Maruki is a counselor who shows up after the events of the first palace and is a natural addition to the game, as this school has a lot of students who could use counseling. His confidant gives Joker self-healing capabilities, but it also increases Joker's max SP at every rank. Pancakes over here has had his confidant completely reworked. The Justice confidant no longer increases automatically, as you actually have to go and spend time with the Akechi to increase it. There's a tangible benefit to this, as this confidant now gives Joker abilities as you rank it up along the way. Oya's confidant is now more useful given the changes to how palaces work. Futaba has an all-out attack in this version. New attacks called Showtimes have been added to this game. These are like the fusion arts in Persona 4 Golden, only not completely trash. I'm not 100% sure what causes them to activate, but there are way more in this game, and they look incredibly hilarious. The twins now ask for different personas in their confidant. I assume this is to make it so the personas you bring them are useful, like Matador with Magaru, who is not just a classy Nocturne reference, but useful for the palace boss that you're likely to get them in. Speaking of the twins, you can now take Caroline and Justine out of the Velvet Room so they can see the world.
So you mean on a date?
No, it's not a date. It's nothing like the hilarious Elizabeth events in P3FES as we wait for hijinks to ensue.
I'll allow it.
What are you gonna do, put me in jail? Can't do that when I'm already there, now can you? Where was I? Right, new gameplay mechanics. There are personas that have been added to this game that correlate to the two new arcana introduced. All party members now join with Baton Pass. Praise be to Dorkun. On top of that, Baton Pass has been buffed. You can now rank up Baton Pass, and how you can do that I'll get into later, but the ranks give Baton Pass greater damage, can restore HP, and restore SP as well. Baton Pass also has a new mechanic where if you manage to get the Baton Pass to the entire party, the final person in the Baton Pass chain gets to use a skill for 0 HP or SP cost.
He wields a gun,
which is now useful as gun attacks now do more damage than melee attacks. This is balanced by the fact that each party member only has one clip now. However, said clip is automatically reloaded after each fight instead of when you leave the metaverse. Think of it like spells in Fire Emblem Three Houses, because everything on this channel has to somehow connect back to that series. Morgana is now useful during negotiations, as instead of having the endgame give you 3 options that all mean the same damn thing, the cat here will help you along the way. Disaster Shadows are added to this game. These are special shadows that counter all attacks besides their weakness, but once defeated, they will explode, drop a rare item, and substantially damage all other enemies in the fight. Will Seeds are a new mechanic. There are 3 of these items in each palace, and each time you find one, your party will recover some SP. If you collect all 3 Will Seeds in a palace, you get an accessory, and I've seen what some of these do. Trust me people, they're worth hunting down for more than the SP. Some accessories give their user additional abilities that can be active or passive. This means that if you have a special accessory, you can effectively have 9 skills at a time. Speaking of skills, let's talk about some of the Velvet Room changes. From the registry, you are now able to see what items and skill cards a persona will turn into if you transmute it. There is a new feature called Red Alert. When the Velvet Room enters this state on random occasions, you can fuse even more powerful personas. There is also the chance that after fusion, some abilities will be randomly selected and can transform into different ones. From what I understand, the new skill will be similar to the previous one and often grant upgraded versions. It's risky, but the potential rewards are great. Personas now have traits. These are literally Pokemon abilities, except when you fuse personas in the Velvet Room, you will have a potential pool of abilities to choose from. You can only have one at a time, but they're pretty busted by the looks of it. Personas put into isolation can have their stats enhanced through the use of incense. Challenge battles have been added. The best comparison to these I can think of would be the battle CDs in Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. To the one guy in the comments who knows what I'm talking about, you a real one. In Pokemon XD, there were items called battle CDs that let you participate in fights that played out more like a puzzle. In Royal, there are special battles you can take on in the Velvet Room where, once completed, you are given a score. You can boost your score by fulfilling certain conditions, and doing so nets you rare items. Here I am at entry number 25, and I haven't even mentioned the new area added to the game, Kichijoji, which has a lot to cover. There are new places in Kichijoji that you can explore, like a jazz club and a temple. There's also a trader who has unique items here. On top of that, there is a store that lets you sell your dirty clothes. New side quests have been added, and a good amount of them are in Kichijoji. The last new addition to Kichijoji is Penguin Sniper. Here, you can play darts or billiards. Remember what I said about baton passes having ranks? This is how you raise them. By playing darts with your party members, you boost their baton pass ranks. By having your teammate win the game, you can increase their baton pass rank by more than one level. Now there's a less talked about billiards. Do you remember how technical damage worked in P5 Vanilla? Of course you don't, because it was completely inconsequential. However, in Royal, it is a much more significant part of combat. There are many more personas in Royal that have no weakness. The only way to down them is through a lucky crit or a technical. To boost your chances of getting a down with a technical, you play billiards, which also boosts your social ranks with all of your party members, so it's worth doing. I'll let online guides explain how this works in greater detail because it's very complicated. With only 29 more reasons to go, I could just mention the 29 new tracks added to the game, but I'll only count it as one reason, even though it's worth more than that. The game just looks better, as the fact that this game is a PS4 exclusive means it maximizes the capability of the PS4 and isn't limited by compatibility with the PS3. The characters also have new portraits that look much cleaner, and new portraits that convey more emotion. There are new events that happen before the third trimester. Palaces have also received new layouts, which are enhanced from the original. The grappling hook mechanic has been added, which allows for more enemy dodging and faster infiltrations. When hiding behind cover, you have more control as to which spots you can move to, which I greatly appreciate. Palace bosses have been redesigned. With the changes we already know about Kamoshida's palace, these fights better connect to the narrative that the palace holder has in the real world. Apparently, Palace 5's boss still sucks though. The Thieves' Den is a new addition that functions like the Pokemon secret bases from Gens 3 and 4. You can get models and music here and customize it however you like. You can also play card games with your party members here for P-Coins, which are the currency that let you unlock things in the Thieves' Den. DVD rentals aren't as sucky anymore. You pay a flat annual fee and can take out as many as you'd like. It's probably still not optimal, but it's an option if you have the spare time. When you get home at night, Morgana doesn't make you go to sleep anymore. Now we can stay up until 1 AM playing video games like a real teenager would. The UI for the map now tells you what social stats you can raise at each location, which is immensely useful since it'll be hard to remember what each unique location does. When you get home, you also have the option now to clean LeBlanc for extra kindness points in case you need to farm that social stat. Mementos isn't completely awful now. There are many fixes to this slogfest, which is worse than Tartarus in my eyes, but they address those complaints in Royal by making it a place worth exploring. How? For starters, there's new music. There's also Egghead here, whose name is Jose. Oh, I'm sorry, I meant Jose, since Atlus's localization team doesn't have a single Spanish speaker on it. Jose here is collecting flowers, and they're easy to gather in your time in Mementos. Once you've gathered enough, you can trade them in for HP and SP restoring items. There are also stamps in Mementos. Each segment of Mementos has a fixed amount of stamps which can be traded in for permanent experience gains, permanent money gains, or increasing your odds of finding rarer items. There are also deviation floors which have been added that offer the player an opportunity to go into a floor filled with treasure shadows, but there's a catch, such as the Reaper roaming the floors, or that the map can be blacked out at times. And I have saved the biggest change that doesn't go into the third semester segment for last. Are you ready, people? Lala-chan has a voice actor now! In the Japanese version at least. I really hope they kept that change in the localized version. Now, for these last 10 things, I'll talk about aspects exclusive to the third semester that may be somewhat spoilery, but before you leave, I'm going to tell you how to unlock the third semester, as it is not automatic. There is a special condition that needs to be met that is different than the vanilla version. If Maruki isn't at rank 9 by the time you reach November 21st in game, you will not progress to the third semester. I don't know why, but it's a requirement. Also good to know is that Maruki isn't available during summer break because the school isn't open then, so keep that in mind when planning your path. One thing I also want to add is that Kasumi's Confidant will be locked at rank 5 until you reach the third semester. However, if you don't reach this rank with Kasumi before December 22nd, you are locked out of seeing the rest of her Confidant. Now, if you want to avoid spoilers about the third semester, you can leave, and I appreciate you for watching this far. So, getting into it, generic statement, but there are new party member interactions in the third semester. A White Day event has been added. A New Year's event has been added. There's a new bad ending, for those of you that want to see that. There's a new palace, area, dungeon, whatever to explore now. Party members all get Tier 3 awakenings that are unlocked via story progression. A bonus endgame cutscene can be achieved. I won't say how, because I feel most of you will naturally get it, but know it exists. An additional New Game Plus boss fight has been added, which is significantly harder than the twins if you played vanilla. Yes, it's against who you think it is. There's another party member you get only for the third semester. I'm not gonna spoil on screen now, but it looks really hype. Finally, more of a reminder than anything, but Human Morgana is a thing. I'm pretty sure he exists in the third semester, but I have no idea in all honesty. What I can confirm is that he is voiced by Todd Haberkorn, meaning he will not only look hot, but he'll also sound hot too. And that right there are 60 reasons why P5R is worth every penny. People, I'm tired. I've edited 3 videos in the past week, all while managing crappy online classes, so I'm pretty tired. Let me know which of my reasons is your favorite down below in the comments, even though I know number 50 is what most of you are waiting for. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'm gonna pretend I'm a high school hottie with a harem now. Peace!
My place too high.